We're back. As we reported earlier, the new Pokemon Go game is hugely popular, but there are now major concerns about the safety aspect of the game and being aware of your surroundings when playing the game. And that's concerning police. Joining me now in studio is Sergeant Bill Calder from the Durham Regional Police Service. Bill, welcome. How are you?
Thank you, Neil. Thanks for having me.
Hugely popular. You guys are already getting calls about this. What are your major concerns, first up?
I think you have to look at this from a perspective of distraction. We've been promoting, no distracted driving for so long. This is just another element of distraction, and it's concerning us because they're not looking where they're going. Like I actually used the app myself, and the first thing I saw was when I was going to a certain stop for it, other people coming to me with their phones up, not looking where they're going, just looking around the area. So our concern mainly being safe, knowing your surroundings, and like I said, just don't be so distracted by it.
Right, because I mean, in the U.S., we've heard a number of reports of people walking off cliffs, walking into traffic. A child was struck the other day. So totally get that. Now, I mean, we don't want to, say that you guys don't like this app. You want people to have fun and get out there, right?
I think there's some great advantages. It is getting people, if you remember even Nintendo's Wii system, it got people swinging their arms in their basement. So to me, it's just another extension of the fact that you're actually being physical. I have a nephew that actually says you couldn't believe how many kilometers he's walking now. He's doing it safely, but he's walking now, playing his games. And we love that factor of it. And it's very social, it's very popular. So how do you stand in the way of that? We don't want to.
Now, an incident last night you were telling me about before we went on air was the case of a 17-year-old driver doing what?
She was described as 17 years old in a car up in the area of North Whitby, and it was very erratic driving, and in fact she was actually honking her horn at different people. As someone got close on the sidewalk and saw her, they could see the app was actually running on her lap, and they could see that that's what she was actually running for, is trying to catch them all from her car.
Yeah, because there's an aspect of the game, I understand, that first come, first serve, you get the big prize or the Pokemon or whatever it is. So people are racing around, some of them, to get here. Okay, so but the other part of this that is very concerning, and what I'm learning, are is it Pokestops?
Pokestops, yes. That's basically, right now, they're generated landmarks. They're going to be, like I know in Oshawa, the General Motor Center is one, and it's from a database that started the whole process of identifying areas like that. So people are going to go there in the first place. But what concerns us is, when you start dropping what they call a luring module, I know I'm sounding a little technical here, but when that's dropped there, it's going to garner a crowd because they know there's going to be more Pokemons to be caught.
Right, and someone who's not trustworthy or could have other intentions, luring other young people or whatever to that spot, and not so nice things could happen.
Yeah, we haven't had any incidents like that in Durham region. I'm glad. And I think we're a safer community, but I have heard of reports across the state where it makes sense. If somebody's going to rob you of your cell phone, why not bring the victim to you as opposed to going out and finding the victim? It's a potential. We have not seen anything like it, but it always has us, we have to think these things out ahead of time.
And I think this is important too, because we want parents to be aware of these, and the teenagers and adults that I met yesterday doing this story. To know that. Now, the other aspect of this as well is that people are now trespassing. And I know that OPG has put out a tweet asking people to stay away, as well as Lake Ridge Health. They have put tweets out about that. What happens if you're trespassing, walking blindly with your phone?
If we get called for trespassing, especially at nighttime, you do face the chance of having a ticket given to you for trespassing on private property. Or even later at night, the criminal code actually has an area called trespass by night. And it doesn't always have to be a criminal act you're involved in. You're just not supposed to be around people's houses at night on their property. I'm also concerned, when I mentioned, was cemeteries. I'm worried that some of the areas that people might be trespassing on are areas that the ethical decision is to stay away from there in the first place. Don't be chasing a Pokemon in areas that you wouldn't go to in the first place.
And talking about chasing a Pokemon, there's some video that Johnson's going to roll for us. This was in New York City at Central Park. And it's kind of unbelievable what we're looking at here. Bill, there are people stopped in the road, and there are hundreds of people running in the dark. What kind of, as a police officer, what does this tell you or make you concerned?
It tells me a bit that the drive to get one of the most elusive Pokémons actually outweighs the need to be safe. And that would be our concern on something like that, is that, you know, it might be very important to you, but, you know, look around right now, how many of those people are actually looking at the roadway, making sure it's safe to go across, some basic stuff, but it's that overwhelming drive that wants to get them there first.
Right.
And they got to catch them all. And in this case here, I don't know if there's any injuries, but, you know, when we look at from our perspective, very similar. Even in front of our headquarters, I've seen people driving to a certain area there. It's not as big a scale, but it's like, look at the behavior.
Right. Okay, Bill, we're running out of time. Just reiterate, and I know that the police are concerned, but it's a fun game.
It's fun, it's social, it's the new wave. Other softwares are going to be out there like this as well that's going to have very similar graphics, other ways of using the geo-mapping systems. We don't go against that at all. We think it's fantastic people are out there, but keep your head up. Think about things before you're going out in different areas. If it's luring you to an area, just pause for a second. Don't rush there. Think to yourself, does that make sense?
Keep it safe.
Keep it safe.
Bill, thank you for coming in. More Durham now following the break, and a film review from Eric Martin.